Alice in Wonderland. The White Rabbit. From Alice Our Adventures in Wonderland, retold by Thomas Gwynne, illustrated by James Collectors. Alice sat picking daisies with her cat on the riverbank. She was quite bored until a white rabbit ran by. A rabbit isn't very exciting, but this rabbit wore a jacket and carried a pocket watch. And if that wasn't strange enough, it spoke too. Oh, you see. Okay, please see here. Oh, it can see. But do you see it in the rabbit's eyes? Is it wearing the glasses? And why its eye is very red? I think that because the rabbit needs to wearing glasses because it is blind. Oh dear, I'm late. It said before jumping down a hole. The white rabbits had proved far more interesting than daisies, so Alice ran to the hole and peered after the creature. Before she knew it, she had landed in too far. Alice fell and fell and fell. The hole seemed to be bottomless. It is very deep, deeper and deeper. This must be the deepest hole in the world, she said, unless I'm just flowing very slowly. What's this? Alice asked, and as she passed the shelf and cupboards that lined the rabbit hole, her belly rumbled with hunger. So she grabbed a jar labeled orange jam of one of the shelves. Empty, she said. She returned the jar to the cupboard. Alice began to worry about her cat. Her worry didn't last long because her thoughts were interrupted when she saw crashes into the floor of the rabbit hole. She saw the white rabbit of the desert. Oh, my ears and whiskers! How late it is getting! He called as he turned a corner. The creature had disappeared to a hall full of doors. Alice tightened each and every one of the doorknobs, but they were all locked. What's that? Alice said as she pulled aside a curtain. It connected a very small door with an even smaller keyhole. On the table nearby sat a miniature coding key. It fit just right. Miniature. Okay. Alice opened the door and peered into a beautiful garden on the other side. She wanted to explore the bright flowers and cool fountains, but the door was too small to pass through. Whatever am I to do? Alice asked. I can't stay in this hall of doors forever. Alice looked around and spotted a bottle sitting on the table. It hadn't been there before. She pulled out the key and took a sip from the bottle. It had a massive flavor of cherry tart, custard, pineapple, roast turkey, toffee, and hot buttered toast. As soon as he swallowed, Alice started to shrink. What a curious feeling, Alice exclaimed. I'm plenty small enough to fit through that door now, Alice said, but the door had closed and locked again. She looked up through the glass of the table and saw the key staring back at her. Now, what shall I do? Alice said, trying her best not to cry. Whoa! The scientist of cake wormed from under the table. It had been too small to notice before, but now Alice was so small that one cake equal to child large. On the cake were the words, "Eat me." Alice took a big bite. As she swallowed, she grew bigger than she had ever been before. Closer and closer, cried Alice. But now Alice was so big that even her head wouldn't fit the knot to the door to the garden. "What bad luck I have!" she said. This time there was no convincing the chairs to stay put. Drop of big and sponge balls rained from her eyes. The hall began to flood with steady water. "I'm going to be so late," someone said. The White Rabbit was back. He carried a pair of gloves in one paw and a fan in other. "If you please, sir," Alice called out. The White Rabbit was so surprised by the giant Alice that he dropped the white gloves and fan. He quickly scurried away. "Wait, you thief!" Alice shouted after the White Rabbit, but it was too late. Alice cooled herself with a fan to clear her head, but just as the cake had not been an ordinary cake, the bottom not an ordinary bottom. The fan was no ordinary fan. Alice began to shrink again to an even thinner size than before. "Now I can surely fit toward the floor," Alice said. As she walked to the door, she supplied. As she walked to the door and slipped on a wet stone and crashed into the puddle of tears, which now seemed like an ocean. A little mouse had fallen in too. "Don't worry, little mouse," Alice said. But before Alice could read the mouse, a dozen different birds began falling into the puddle too. They all flapped and flapped to get back to the shore. Alice pulled herself out of the puddle and shouted, "I did better get dry." "I know it was just right," said the dodo. "A race! It's just the thing to do." So Alice, the mouse, and the bird planned out a course around the lake and under the table. They were off and running before anyone bothered to say, "Ready, set, go!" Alice ran past the eaglet and then the towboat. Then she passed them again as they flew by. Her going the wrong way, the mouse sat and took a nap for a while until she hopped up and started for the finish line again, whatever what might be. Alice was very dry, however, so she race was doing its job. "The race over," the dodo called out, stopping to catch his breath. "But who won?" the eaglet asked. The dodo prompted for a bit before he decided. "Everyone has won, and all must have prizes," he declared. "And she will give them out." "Of course," said the dodo, pointing to Alice. Alice reached into her bucket in a panic and found candies that she had forgotten all about. Lucky they were flat water taffy, so the saltwater lake hadn't rained them at all, but only made them salter and salter. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble. The birds scattered off, flying in all directions. Come back, Alice called, before she could chase after them. She saw what was causing the tremors. It was not an earthquake at all. It was giant footsteps. Okay? Bye-bye.